A little known gem of a company making huge profits from a metal that people started pulling out of the ground only 8,000 years ago. Hi, my name is Mike Statler, and if you'll stick with me here for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to give you the skinny on a very sweet little mining play that I've had my eye on for a while now. But before I get to the company, for those of you who don't know me and are asking yourself why you should listen to some guy on some video here on the interwebs tell you about stock investing, let me clear the air. As I said, my name is Mike Statler. I've been a full-time, no-nonsense, take-no-prisoners, private penny stock trader for 15 years. In that time, I have made more money than I will be able to spend in this lifetime. I have pocketed over $120 million from the penny stock game, and until a little while ago, I was finished. I'm not telling you this to brag, but in business and investing, facts are facts. I've made a killing in the penny stock market, and if you are smart, you will listen to what I tell you on this subject. But as I said a few minutes ago, I quit the whole thing. I retired my trading screens, sold my apartment in New York City, and bought a huge yacht and sailed around the world. I went everywhere: Caribbean, Mauritius, Bali, Australia, drank Dom Perignon like it was tap water, caviar, bikini babes, the whole 9 yards. I don't mean to sound like a jerk, but hey, I worked hard and I wanted to blow off some steam. But after a few months of the beach bum jet set life, I felt I was missing something. I know it sounds crazy, but the thought crossed my mind that I would actually rather be sitting back in my office in New York trading penny stocks, back in the game. So that was it. I docked the boat, bought a new apartment overlooking Central Park, and the trading screens are fired up again, baby. So I am back. But this round, I am taking you, the average investor, with me. You see, when I started out, I didn't know anything. And as embarrassing as it is for me to tell you here and now, I'm going to be a man and say it. I lost my shirt trading regular stocks. I mean, I was trying hard, reading the right newspapers, the Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal. I was a subscriber to more newsletters than you can count. And all my research, all my knowledge led me to losing all the cash I had saved up to that point in my life. But then I met a mentor, someone who had made a killing with these little penny stocks. And I don't know why, but he took a liking to me. And because he did, he took me behind the curtain, told me about Wall Street, said forget it, with all the fat cat insiders and secret handshake bullcrap. He brought me into the world of penny stocks. And the reason he did was because he taught me, and now I'm teaching you, that these smaller deals don't issue the amount of stock to interest the fat cats. So they leave the market alone. And that, my friends, is our edge. Now, I want to be this guiding hand for you guys, because it wasn't so long ago that I was sitting exactly where you sit, just average returns. Every once in a while, a winning stock, but every time I did, I gave all the profits back on the next trade. Don't despair. You're exactly in the right spot. Your instincts are correct. It is a very wise move of you to seek out someone to teach you who has proven results backing him up. In my case, over 120 million results sitting in my bank account. So strap in, because this is going to be one hell of a ride. Okay, enough with who I am. Let's leave it at I'm a very rich man on a mission to teach you how to become rich trading penny stocks. Simple enough? Okay, let's get down to business. The company I'm alerting on today is called Amarium Minerals, and they are probably in my favorite sector as an investor, mining. I have made more money with mining stocks than with any other single type of stock. A lot of investors go for this green goo producing biotech or the next social media thing that have some drug addict celebrity starting it up. I say, have at it. Give me a boring old hole in the ground that day in and day out produces a metal that is used in all these computers that connect to the internet to get to the social media site. And that is exactly what Amarium Minerals has. They are a mining company that has bought and is presently operating a copper mine in the Mexican state of Michoacan, which is located in the western part of the country, in a historically super rich mining region. The company is presently profitably mining copper, but there's also a lot of gold and silver resources in the area, which Amarium will pursue in the future. But at the moment, they are focused on their La Jovita copper mine, which is a 250-hectare claim that the company owns 100% of. Now, I'm not sure what you know about copper, but it's what's called a base metal, and it is one of the first metals that human beings ever started taking out of the ground 8,000 years ago. 5,500 years ago, it helped us emerge from the friggin' Stone Age. Now, we use it when we build stuff. It's in pipes and cars. In fact, each car on the road has about 1.5 kilometers of copper wire in it. It's used to help computers not overheat in appliances like refrigerators and air conditionings. And as you can imagine, China is a huge market for copper as their economy is growing and their population is simply massive. According to the IMF, the U.S. economy is set to grow at a rate of 1.7% this year. China is set to grow at a rate of 7.7%. Add to that the sheer size of their population, and that means new construction, more cars, more infrastructure, and you guessed it, all this equals more need for copper, which for us as investors gives us a sort of backdoor way to profit as China grows. And in case you've been sleeping for the last 10 years, probably the biggest story in the financial world has to be the massive growth of the Chinese consumer class. I believe that copper is going to be a great bet for the foreseeable future. It's been around for so long, it's not going to get replaced. There's only so much of it in the world, and when you get huge and growing demand and limited supply, you, my friend, as an investor, are in the right place. In fact, I was just reading this morning that copper is up 9.8% over its close just 2 weeks ago. There is an increasing demand as the EU and 17 countries that use the euro began to see growth last quarter, and this means they're building again. This, coupled with the staggering Asian demand, means that this historical metal that we've been digging out of the ground for 8,000 years is not going anywhere. And the fact that Amarium Minerals has a mine producing it means that they are in a great position. Did you catch that last bit? That Amarium Minerals is actually producing copper at present? This is a key bit of information for you as an investor. There are a lot of junk mining plays out there in the penny stock game. Companies that are raising capital without having pulled 1 ounce of anything out of the ground. Not Amarium. These guys are pulling copper out every day and selling it profitably. In fact, let's take a look at the numbers today and the numbers as Amarium continues to build out their capacity. Today, they are taking 40 tons of copper out of the ground. In 2 years, that number could be 1,000 tons a day. So let's take a look. If we're talking 1,000 tons of material, that means 66,000 pounds of copper per day, or 1.98 million pounds a month. Their cost to process the copper into sellable form is $1.10. And at an average market price of $3.20 a pound, they have a net revenue of $2.10 per pound. So if you're pulling 1.98 million pounds a month and making $2.10 per pound profit, that is $4.158 million a month in pure profit. That means that as investors, we are in a perfect position. Amarium has found the mine, bought 100% ownership, found a buyer for the copper, and has already begun producing and selling. All we are talking about here is scaling something that's already working. We're not on some wild mining goose chase looking at a weird geological report of what might or might not be in the ground. We have a fully owned, profitable mining operation with supply, buyer, and proof that the system works. And all we are doing now is throwing logs on a raging fire. Easy squeezy Japanesey. And did you notice how much profit Amarium is able to achieve? Part of this is clearly a great management team, which I'll get to in a second. And it also has to do with the location of their La Jovita property. Being located in Mexico means they get access to some of the richest mineral lands in the world, combined with very low labor costs. For us as investors, this is another key. It maximizes our upside as well as minimizes our downside. even if we were to see the price of copper drop, it would have to go to $1.09 for the company to lose money. Come on, really? Not likely. So we have a nice upside and our downside is protected. When that happens, we are in the kill zone, people, which is why one of my top mining analysts kept bugging me about this company for a long time, and he was right. The other main reason I'm totally convinced that Amarium is a home run play is because of management. They are run by an Aussie with years of experience in the business named Adam Carter. I am sure that you know, while the rest of the world has been getting its head handed to it since the financial crash, Australia has done just fine. And the reason is that these guys are experts at pulling minerals that Asian economies need out of the ground and selling it to them. I know it's not as sexy as the next Facebook, but hey, we all saw what happened to the Facebook IPO. That was fun, right? When it comes to making money, give me boring all day long. Boring residual money coming into my bank account every single month with probably one of the oldest business models in the world. Dig hole, get metal out of hole, sell metal, repeat. Instead of some guy selling me that I'm going to be using coconut oil to run my Ferrari in the next 18 months, dream on. Or some web application that's going to sit on some server somewhere next to the 17 billion other web applications that no one knows about except the investors who lost their shirts on them. No, Amarium is playing in metal, copper, gold, silver. These things are so liquid they are like money. Top investors like Jim Rogers, George Soros' ex-partner, think owning commodities like metals is better than owning paper money, that governments can't break the habit of printing until there's so much of it that our dollars mean closer and closer to nothing. Amarium does not have to spend a lot of capital selling people that what they have is so great. In the case of copper, people have known it's great for the past 8,000 years. Yes, they have an agreement with Anglo-Asian resource partners to buy their copper, but if they didn't, it would take them all of 15 seconds to get another agreement in place. They've done the hard work, which is finding the spot, getting the initial money, proving that they can mine profitably. You and me as investors get to jump in on the rocket ship now. Heck, we get in cheap. Can you imagine what the stock price might be when they're pulling 1,000 metric tons a day? Let me give you a little hint. It'll probably be a lot higher than it is at the moment. Amarium Minerals has proven their model. They are a great little profitable engine that I believe is only going to grow. Go check out all these other penny stocks some of these idiots are telling you about. All dreams and pie-in-the-sky profit fantasies. What we have here is the real deal. Real profit in a real business. I have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars doing all the due diligence on these guys. Gone over the books, everything. They check out to the moon. I believe we're going to see massive gains on this stock immediately. These guys have been under the radar for a while, but that is changing and changing quick. You can start your research at www.amariumminerals.com. They trade under the symbol AMMG. Happy trading, Mike Statler.